Welcome back to another episode of Cars and Stuff. I already forgot what our channel name was. Today's episode, we are going to be removing the front clip, as they say, and along with the engine. But before we get started on that, I want to address a comment on the last video that was very helpful about our rear brake cans here. I don't know a lot about air brakes.
He does know a lot about cans.
These bolts in the back are the cage bolts. Basically, these rear brakes are disengaged, which means when we were test driving it, we were driving it on just the front brakes, which is probably fine.
Yeah, it seemed fine.
We're alive. While we've still got the engine in, I want to start it up, charge up the air, pull these cage bolts out, and see if the rear brakes even do work, or if that's something that is another thing that's broken on this rear axle. After sitting for a weekend, will it start? Easy! That's such a good running motor. Pull to apply system, push to release. Twist. Here's the deal. We think this valve is broken. So with the cage bolts out, the rear brakes are always applied. Pushing the brakes did move those levers right there a tiny bit, but not as much as they move in the front. Okay. Which makes me think that the brakes in the back were permanently engaged, hence why they had the cage bolts installed on it. It looks like the brake cans themselves work. It's probably just the valve up on the dash that has it permanently with the park brake on. I'm sure there's somebody that could let us know in the comments if that sounds like a proper diagnosis, but at the same time, doesn't matter too much since we're planning on replacing the axle and that whole system, but still might be good to know. Next up is removing the engine. But before I go sticking my head inside of that fender there to undo some bolts, we need to address these Widowmakers, as they call them. So this is called a split rim wheel, I believe. And there's that split ring that is kind of wedged in there that holds the bead of the tire in. If those come free, then you have the full pressure inside the tire blowing that ring straight out here and taking off Mitchell's left leg. They're extremely dangerous, and there's a reason why they don't use them anymore, and I'm terrified every time I walk in front of one of these. So we need to put this up on some jack stands and then just let all the pressure out of there so that we don't become not living. Watch your digits. I meant to drop that slower, but we good. Threaded.
This trend actually predates the automobile. Threaded fasteners started being used to attach wheels onto the axles of horse buggies. They would often rub up against the center of the wheel.
It only makes sense with a center fastener.
People in the 50s were just dumb. Is that what we're getting from this?
True story.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go. Do you remember that commercial?
Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
Hold on, I think I can get this cooler hose off under here now. Oh shoot! Oh wow! That heads up, there's still a lot in there. Wow! Is that a lot? Yeah. Okay, we can probably lift up the front now because we cleared the crank pulley. So we gotta lift up the front a lot, and then
I go pee.
okay. You need to go pee?
Car.
Oh, the car's going pee.
Yeah,
The car's going pee. Is that funny? There it is. Yeah. Set it over here right now. And that is more or less how you remove the front clip off a GMC 6500-ish. Next up, we just gotta disconnect everything that's holding this engine in, and we're gonna pull it out, probably with the transmission attached. Like half that missed. Come on, blow harder. You said not to launch it. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really hot in our shop, and this is taking a long time. We could not for the life of us figure out how to get the shifter off of this transmission. So we did a little bit more digging to figure out what transmission this is. We thought it was an SM465. It is not. It is actually a very rare Clark 207V. We couldn't find any information on how to remove the shifter from it, so I just took the entire top plate off, which I feel like might have needed to happen anyway in order to have it clear coming out. So yeah, what we've got is a 5-speed transmission with no overdrive. And my understanding is that this one doesn't have an overdrive because we do have the 2-speed rear. And this transmission has a PTO cover plate there, and it's got one on the other side as well. And it uses the driveline brake. That's the emergency, or the parking brake rather. So now I just want to put a temporary cardboard cover over the top of that to keep any big stuff from falling in. And I think we are pretty much ready to pull the engine and transmission all out at once. Well, we finally got it out, and that was a beast. And after going through that experience with it, I'm not so sure I want to sell it yet. I might hang on to it, but we'll see. Maybe if there's a good offer, I'd go for it. You can see the transmission placard, Clark 207V. And now with that out of the way, we can finally start tearing everything that we will not be needing off of this, including the rat's nest of wiring, all of these air hoses and valves. So in the next episode, we'll be stripping it down a lot more and getting it ready to start building it back up and restoring it. I apologize for the time in between uploads. We do have another business that we're running next door, and some weeks it's gonna be a lot more demanding, so sometimes there might be 2 weeks in between uploads, sometimes just one, but I promise we will upload as frequently as we have time for. So thanks for being patient with us there, and thanks for watching as well.